What is going on, guys? In today's video I'm super excited, and it's an early morning right now. It is beautiful outside. It's really kind of chilly and brisk, but in today's video I'm actually giving my son a taper fade. He's been wanting this for like ever since I can remember. As you guys see, I have mine, but yeah, he's been wanting a taper fade for quite some time, and today's video I'm actually giving him a taper fade, and I'm gonna walk you guys through it. And he does have really extremely long hair, and he does have curly hair, so in today's video we're gonna kind of walk you through the process, kind of the steps, not only just the steps but the major tips on how to actually do a taper fade on really long hair. So I really hope you guys are ready for this video. I'm super stoked about it. This is a new camera, so new camera alert. This is actually for the family channel, but I'm just testing it out just to see what everything's looking like so I can get used to it. But you guys, I'm gonna walk you through this process. Give this video a thumbs up because I know it's gonna help you guys out a lot. I've not seen many videos on this subject, so I know this video is gonna be helpful for all you guys. And I'm telling you, it's just really in the tips. It's not really in the steps. There's some major tips that I'm gonna give you guys in this video. It's gonna be some keys to help you guys out. Not only that, but this is a really cool haircut and you guys are going to enjoy it, I promise you. And guys, before we get into it, please go subscribe to my son. His channel is down below. It's the top of the description. He actually has the full-length video of me cutting his hair on his channel. You can watch the whole thing. Today's video I'm just gonna kind of walk you through the process. But you guys, let's get into it. This is my son, if you guys do not know. I just had him pull his hair down really quick. I didn't want to pull his hair down and have me like pull on into his hair. But like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this is mostly just about getting the right tips. Not necessarily the steps on how to do it, because the steps are kind of already there. If you know how to cut hair, then that's great. But I'll kind of walk you through that process as well. But the first tip I'll tell you guys is get your sections. The sections are the most important part with this whole process. If your sections are good, then the haircut's going to look good. So my main objective during this whole thing was to make sure that I had perfect sections, because I know that the parts that I section out, that's what's going to be shown on the fade and on the lineup. So you guys, as you guys can see that there's like a definite line in between the hair that's going to be in the lineup or the taper fade, and a definite line, or that's the same line in between that and the long hair. So make sure that line is very visible and very definite, because that's going to be what is showing where the lineup is. Now that's not where the lineup is going to be, so please watch to the end of the video so you can understand how this whole thing is going to happen. But essentially the hair that is being brushed forward is going to be turned into a lineup or a fade, and you'll see that throughout this video. But the biggest thing I'm telling you guys is to get your sections correct. And what I'm using is a very fine-tooth comb. It's not necessary, you can use a brush to get this effect, just to make sure that that line is very definite. You see that I'm using a fine-tooth comb. You can find this at the store. They call them lice combs or dog combs. Either way, these work great. You want to make sure that the sections are even throughout both sides and the front. And as you guys see right here, I'm just going through and creating a rough lineup. And this is kind of just a rough edit, if you could put it that way, or just, you know, just making sure that I see where the line is going to be, and making sure that I'm not pushing them back or making it too long. So you always want to check where his natural hairline is, depending on what hair you're cutting. Especially because Kellen's hair is so long, I am definitely making sure where his natural hairline is. And you'll see me later on in this video kind of pulling his hair back to see where his natural hairline is when it comes to lining up the sides. But this whole part right here is just a rough cut, because I have not even cut the hair shorter. But this kind of is like a step before. Attention to as well when cutting his hair is I wanted to make sure that his hairline isn't super sharp, and you know, his taper isn't super high up. I wanted to make sure that his hair still looked like he was a kid. He wasn't like an adult with like a crazy sharp hairline. And of course I went in, you guys will see later on in the video that I made his hairline nice and sharp, but I didn't do it to where his hair was super short and, you know, that line was like really nice and crisp, and the corners are nice and crisp. You'll see that they're nice and crisp, but they're not as sharp as they could have been with, you know, if I was doing like an older person that, you know, isn't a child, you know what I'm saying? And it's all personal preference depending on you as the adult. If you're cutting your son's hair, or whoever's hair you're cutting, you always want to make sure with the parent like what kind of style they're going for, or what the parent wants them to have. Because of course he wanted the tapered hairline, but I didn't want to give it too sharp of a cut. and you'll be able to see at the end of the video. And a major thing is you don't want to push back the hairline. You have to know where their natural hairline is, and that's just a major key. As you guys can see, you guys can barely see right here, but I'm actually going against the grain with the 2 guard, lever open, and then I kind of closed it as I was going just to even out that hair at the top, because when you go with the grain, that's kind of hard to even out the hair, but I was going against the grain and it actually came out really good. So you can see that all that hair at the top of the hairline is pretty even. So this is what I'm talking about with having him with not a super sharp hairline. You guys can see that it's really crisp, but it's not too sharp to where, you know, it just doesn't look like it fits his age. So this is looking really good, as you guys can see, and it's all just about creating that section. That's the #1 tip I can give you guys, is to make sure that that section in between the tapered hair and the long hair is definite, like super defined. And you guys see me going in with the profiles, and that's just to bald out the very bottom of the taper. And it may seem like I'm running through this really quick, but as long as you know, if you want to do this, just watch this video a couple times and you'll be able to see exactly how I did everything. I created the section the same thing on the back as if I was doing the front. And this section is all dependent. The lever open, no guards on this one. Then I threw on the 0 guard, and then I had it halfway open, knocking out that line, and then I just kept fading up. That's the way I like to fade. I like to fade up because it's easier for me to knock out the lines consistently. Now I threw on the 1 guard at this point, and I believe my lever is halfway open. If not, it's all the way open, and it's just kind of just playing with how everything looks. Sometimes on the back of the head there's darker spots or lighter spots, and you really just got to play around with it. And at this point, I believe I have on a step below a 2 guard. I think it's called a 3.5 guard, and I really just went in with that and blended out everything to where it looked like a nice gradient. And with his hair type, it faded out actually really nice and very easy. And then I just went in with my T-outliners and finished up with doing a nice lineup, touching up everything that needed to be touched upon. If there was any extra hair, how to get rid of it. And it turned out really good. This is how it all looked, and hopefully you guys got something out of this. Hopefully all my tips helped you guys out. I'm telling you, the sections are the main point. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys do have an amazing day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Peace out. God bless.